Well, Kean University hasn't had a men's golf team since 1986, and they've never had a women's golf team at any point in time. But all that changes this year. My first guest is bringing a new life to the golf program at the school by serving as head coach of both teams. Joe Yeck, welcome to the show, and thanks so much for coming on this morning.
Thanks, Mike, for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
So first off, Joe, can you talk a little about your golf journey, how you first found a passion for the sport, and how you wound up at Kean University?
Yeah, so my experience in golf really started right before high school, and I'll take it back even one step further, back to my dad. My dad was a longtime high school basketball coach, coached a few other sports in high school, and really from a young age, I had the opportunity to kind of see his experiences and be around his coaching opportunities. So it was really fun, seeing that firsthand from a really young age. And then I played, college golf, college basketball at a D3 school in Pennsylvania, and really ever since then, after getting into the working world, I really started getting into coaching. Been at a bunch of different schools, and I've loved the game of golf. There's a lot of really cool things that you get to do and be a part of with the game of golf. So yeah, I've been associated with sports and colleges within the New Jersey industry and state for a little bit over a decade now, and very familiar with schools in the NJAC. One of my previous coaching stops had some connections and knew some people at Kean, and it was perfect timing. I'm really thrilled, Kelly Williams and everyone with part of the athletic administration and around campus at Kean to allow me to have this opportunity. Our kids are here on campus now. They're ready to get excited and ready to get going and really build it from ground zero. So we're ready to roll.
And Kean is happy to have you. Now, you were hired last year as both the men's and women's head coach. Is your coaching approach different with each team? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I've been fortunate enough to coach men's and women's golf at a couple different schools over the last decade. And yeah, it's a little bit different. I think really the day-to-day is pretty similar. There might be some differences in recruiting. Unfortunately, with the women's side, there's just not as many women golfers. But the cool thing is it is a growing sport on the women's side. So yeah, there are some differences when you're trying to recruit student athletes on the women's side to come to your campus. But the day-to-day, yeah, practices, maybe at times you're a little bit more laid back. You try and keep it a little bit more fun with the women, but they're super competitive as well. And, really right now it's just about building the culture and bringing in the right student athletes that you want to be, part of, our program and move forward with. So yeah, it's just, it's a really exciting time.
Now, Galloping Hill Golf Course in Kenilworth, how great is it to call that your home course? Not only because it's a great facility, but also because of its proximity to the university.
Yeah, Galloping Hills is great. I've been able to work with them, for several years now. They're very flexible. They allow us to get out on the course throughout the week, even on weekends. As you mentioned, they have a great practice facility. So with our practices, we really mix it up in terms of getting out on the course, working on the range, working with our short game. We're big on competition, even in practice. So again, every practice is going to look a little bit different, but they're great. They're very supportive. We have an upcoming first home event coming up here in a few days. So yeah, we're really excited. I know there's a big buzz on campus. Galloping Hills is really excited to host us. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for our kids, and it's really close to campus. So that's a big plus too. Quick 5-10 minute from campus, and our kids can get out there very easily.
Now let's talk about the teams. Who are some of your key players, and what are some of your strengths going into this season?
Yeah, with a new program, there's a little bit of unknown. I think on the men's side so far, we've had some great qualifying and competition to try and see who's going to play in those first couple tournaments. We do have a couple kids with experience coming from some community colleges within New Jersey, Patrick Murray and Logan Perrone. So we're going to lean on them for some leadership and some of their experiences already playing college golf. And it's been great working with some of the freshmen. I think being such a young team, I think, is really cool because we get to grow each and every day. And, they're going to get experience right out, at the get-go. So we're going to kind of see where some of these kids are. And college golf is a little bit different than high school golf for sure. But, yeah, it's been a fun few weeks getting to know everyone. And, I think we're going to have some depth as well. So we'll be able to plug some people into different tournaments and not lose a beat. On the women's side, yeah, I think they're still a little bit unknown. They're really excited to get going. I feel like a bunch of them are kind of in the same boat in terms of their experiences playing a few years of high school golf. Two of the girls I feel like may have stood out a little bit in qualifying so far, Hannah Whitfield and Kenzie Pierce, both freshmen. So yeah, it's a fun time, these next couple weeks. And as I mentioned, they're all young. We're going to be really young playing in a lot of these tournaments, so there's only room for improvement.
Now, what are some of the tougher schools you'll have to go up against this year?
Yeah, I think the cool thing about college golf and the unique part about it is you don't have to have a set conference schedule. So we get to kind of pick and choose who we want to compete against. I'm big on competition. You'll hear that a lot from me. So I like to play in the better tournaments with the better teams, the better players. I think that just allows our players to grow and see what they have to improve in their game so that we can continue to climb up leaderboards. So we get to travel to really cool courses, places across the region. We're going up against teams all the way up as far north as Massachusetts and Connecticut. We're playing schools down in Maryland and Virginia. So it's a good mix. So it's you get to see different schools, different times of the year. So we're ready to compete and get going.
Now, last question, and I'm curious about this answer. As golfers, you're teaching them to be winners, but coaching is so much more than that. What are you trying to teach these student athletes as people?
Yeah, so every kid that comes on our campus and their parents and families that part of the recruiting process, I always try and keep it in this order: one, health and family; two, academics; and then hopefully golf's a close third. Being a new program, we're trying to build that culture right from the get go. So we want to bring in student athletes who we know are going to do well in the classroom. They come from good backgrounds. They're going to represent our program and our university in a positive manner. So it's really about building that culture. We want, obviously to compete and do well in tournaments, but at the end of the day, as a coaching staff, we want to really grow our student athletes. We want to prepare them for life after college. So, allowing them to be independent, showing accountability, becoming leaders, going out of their comfort zone and trying new things. So that's all part of the college experience. We want them to have a fun experience, be competitive while they're doing it, and really grow as individuals.
Fantastic. Well, Coach Yeck, thanks so much for taking the time this morning, and all the best to you this year.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.